All right. How you doing?
I'm doing well, my good friend. How are you?
Doing good. I feel like it's been a while.
It has. It has.
I feel like it's
I
been a
like
long time coming,
it has been.
but a change gonna come.
This has been a
What?
long time coming.
Just a long time coming. I can
Yes,
sing, people. I just don't. You know what I'm saying?
please don't.
I chose this life. What?
I don't think singing ability chose you.
We are back again with another episode of the Uncringe Podcast. I am your host, GC Rex, and I am joined with Yo Boy Denzel Comedy. And we are the Uncringed Podcast, where we bring you anime, games, movies, and shows. Just
Let's not
not,
cringe.
hopefully.
Hopefully,
Hopefully.
we usually fail in that regard, but we'll see.
Yeah, but you know what? We don't care.
Indeed.
So it is what it is. How you doing today? How you
I'm
doing?
doing all right. Pretty decently sized week, but I'm here. Thankfully.
Thankfully. By the
Thankfully.
grace of God? No? Okay.
About the sermon on the mount.
What? You
No
heard it?
one told me the road would be easy.
It is Sunday. So, I'm just saying, all right? And the grace of God. Somebody play the music. So yeah, it's been a crazy week for me as well. I've had some health issues. I've had some life stuff going on, but during that time I've played a lot of video games, so that is a good thing.
Indeed, that's the main takeaway.
That's
Health
the main thing.
hazardous, but at the very least, you play Dig Dug, and that's where you know your priorities are in line.
Yeah. I played a lot of Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. So
Even I'm ashamed of you that you haven't invited me to play in a match because I also play Nickelodeon All Star.
You don't want that smoke, Denzel.
My Danny Phantom will destroy you.
You don't play Danny Phantom, all right? You don't
What's
play
that
Danny
wrong with
Phantom.
Danny Phantom?
Because you're not good enough to play Danny Phantom.
Bro,
All right, I'm a real Danny Phantom player. You don't want to see my Danny Phantom.
You gonna catch them all, including these hands.
Listen, my real main is Invader Zim. Okay. What? I'm a Zim player. Okay, he's hilarious. I love the show. I had to pick him. He's not the best, but I make him work. So
I still can't believe they launched that game without voice clips to start with. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I think people miss the whole point about Smash Brothers is that they have so much fan service in these games for you to just sink your teeth in. They have the little trophies, they have the costumes. This game has 2 costumes that are palette swaps, no voice lines, and the stages are just terrible.
Indeed, but they are updating. Like, they just recently.
No, I'm not mad. Yeah, I love the game. I think it's a really cool idea that these companies are doing it right. So
true.
I had fun.
Versus coming.
Yep. Which is it's technically already been out for a little while. So
wait, is it fully released or it's still in beta?
It's in beta, but send us a code. Send us a code. I'll play
it. WB, give us a code.
I'll play it.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Sponsored for sure. Tell me what to say.
Give us money.
All right, so cool. Where do you want to start? You want to start with games today? It's not really much to start with, other than
nothing really happened in games.
Games kind of dropped a bomb on us of a bunch of stuff coming out, a bunch of news, and then kind of disappeared.
Indeed, that's what happens when you don't have a friggin' E3. But
that's a fact.
It is what it is.
The one thing that came out that interests me, might not interest you because you're not an RPG player, but Final Fantasy VII Part 2 got its technical release date or like window, and it looks interesting. So the thing is, we've never played as Sephiroth ever. We've never done it unless it's like Dissidia or a side game. This is the first Final Fantasy game where it looks like we're gonna get to control him,
You get to play as the one-winged angel?
the one winged angel,
I don't know that, but
Mr.
it's not bad.
Soldier himself. So
With a comically large sword.
so you've never played Final Fantasy 7, so I'll explain it. There's a
Listen, all right.
scene.
I know about Final Fantasy.
No, you
Okay,
don't.
Steven.
No,
I've
you don't.
watched Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. Okay, I know about the spirits within
Calm down, calm
and
down.
the seventh spirit, which is Gaia, and all that. Okay,
The
remember,
Spirits Within is not Final Fantasy.
it has a name, does it not?
No, no.
It literally has a name, does it not?
So then M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar is canon.
Okay, so Final Fantasy: Spirits Within is not a Final Fantasy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I refuse.
If he did it to us, he did it to you worse. Okay. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We all get shafted in the video game anime community. We all get our turn.
Wait,
All right.
everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one. One Piece is next. We're all getting
Oh yeah.
slowly destroyed by the conglomerate that is the movie industry. So,
I'm sure One Piece of all things, One Piece is a thing that's not gonna suck.
this
Ah.
motherfucker. Why don't you tell the people about our bet that we're doing?
Oh yes. Shoot, do we not record that? I thought we
We
recorded.
never recorded that.
Oh, so they're unaware. Okay, so people, for those of you who have been
Break it down.
watching for those of you who have been watching for quite some time, you know that I am not exactly a One Piece fan. All right, I've watched some of the series. It's cool. I can see the appeal. It just not something I ever wanted to really watch past the Arlong Park arc.
I don't know how
Um,
he stopped at Arlong Park, but
I stopped around Arlong Park. I think the most I got to was Whiskey Peak, and that was the peak of where I got to. And conversely, Steven, as you can tell, is a massive lover of Star Wars, same as me, and a huge lover of the prequels, specifically the movies, unlike me.
yes,
However,
prequels are the
my
best.
favorite, yeah, but my favorite piece of Star Wars content is Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the animated 2006 3D series, which he has never seen,
Nope.
despite the fact that he loves the prequel trilogy
Correct.
more than any other
Anakin is the
trilogy.
GOAT.
The Clone Wars did Anakin better, but that's not the point. The point is that we have entered into a gentleman's agreement.
Yes.
He has agreed to watch the entirety of the
A
Clone Wars.
cartoon.
Yes, 6 seasons. Well,
That's
seven
not
seasons.
invincible.
7 seasons. Huh? Listen, all right. Listen, okay. It's better than Invincible. All right. I
It better
provided him
be.
with an episode guide. 7 seasons, 7 abridged seasons because it cuts out some of the more fillery arcs and whatnot. 7 seasons for him. And in exchange, I have agreed to watch One Piece in a viewing order that my friend here has suggested.
Correct. He will
I'm going
not
to,
be skipping Skypiea.
I
All
don't even
right.
know what the hell that is. But
All
now I
you
want to skip
idiots,
it.
hold on. I need my moment here. Okay. All you idiots that skip Skypiea, now in the story is when you're gonna get your just desserts. Okay. You Zoomers don't even know what that means. Now is when y'all gonna get
This,
shit on. All right.
oh
Okay.
my God.
All
How
right.
long ago was Skypiea?
Skypiea is the longest arc in the series around the time that you're up to. And it
Mm-hmm.
kind of takes the pacing away because everyone is getting more powerful, things are getting more serious, and things are getting more complicated in the story. And Skypiea kind of takes them off into a more fun adventure type thing. And it's long. So everybody's like, what in the hell is this gonna end? And it
So,
just
wait a minute.
doesn't seem connected to the story until not way later, until later you start to understand that literally everything you saw in Skypiea was vital to the story. So it kind of serves as like a guidebook that they give you before you go on the journey you're about to go on.
Okay. In terms of years, how long ago did this happen?
Manga wise
Yeah.
or anime wise?
Let's say manga wise, because I'm assuming you're talking about manga currently,
Like 9 years ago, probably.
9 years ago. So you're
Yeah,
telling me that
maybe longer.
a major plot point has resurfaced that, depending on you having watched or read something from damn near a decade ago. If I didn't already agree to watch One Piece, I swear to God, I wouldn't do this now.
No, 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 no. Let me explain to you how it works, right? With One Piece. This is what he does to you. Okay, this is what he does. You, how can I give you an example?
I got an example of mine. This sounds like if I was watching Dragon Ball Super, right, and then
Mm-hmm.
the topic of Ultra Instinct came up, but they never explained it. But like way back in early Dragon Ball, Goku dodged a rock once, and then somebody said that's good instinct, and that's what I was supposed to base this off of.
No, 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 no. It's not quite like that. This is what
Or it's
Oda
like
does. No, no, no. This is what Oda does to you, right? This is what he does to you as a writer. Imagine you're watching Dragon Ball Z and you see the entire Frieza saga happen, right?
Mhm,
That's great. But then the next arc is kind of like the Saiyan saga. It's in scale. So you go
uh-huh,
from Frieza saga to Saiyan saga. And I'm talking power levels. And
mhm,
it's more like the only reason that this is a challenge is because we haven't squared up yet. Right?
mhm,
Because I just beat Frieza and I'm gonna body Nappa, right?
mhm,
It's not that dramatic. I'm being hyperbolic here. But what he does is the reason he gives you those moments is because they're breaks from large segments, and
mhm,
those little break arcs tend to be packed with detail that you need to know. The small arc are packed with like detail, foreshadowing. It causes a buildup and it gives you a break at the same time.
mhm,
Skypiea is the only large arc that is both. Skypiea provides a break from the tension, right? But is also a large arc at the same time. So a lot of people are like, this is a long ass break. But that break arc, right, is good in
uh-huh,
itself, and it provides the most information for the rest of the series, if that makes sense. Right? So to use One Piece that you've already seen, you have the Baratier arc in which they fight
mhm,
and get Sanji, right?
uh-huh,
You leave that arc and you go to Arlong Park arc, which is a lot longer. But
mhm,
unless you watch the Baratier arc, you wouldn't necessarily understand what the hell is going on in the Arlong Park arc because
uh-huh,
they clearly coincide one and one right before each other.
mhm,
That is a he takes that formula through the entire series, and arcs like entire sections become precursors to entire sections, and it just becomes this chain of world building.
mhm.
That's the genius that's Oda. That's why people say when you get to a certain point, it's just so rich with detail that it's like I have to keep watching.
Steven, if I watch this thing and I don't like it, I swear to God, I'm gonna punch you in the face the next
All
time I
right,
see
I will allow you one
it.
grown man punch. one one I'll allow you one punch if you don't like One Piece. Okay?
One punch for One Piece.
One punch.
Okay.
There's things I know you're gonna hate, and I'm excited for you to call me and discuss them because then I'll know once you complain of all people, that means you
Mhm.
like the show.
Okay.
You only complain about shows you like.
I'm glad that going Mary sank.
You haven't got there yet. You're
I
gonna cry. You're
haven't.
gonna
But
cry like a bitch. I'm sorry. You are, and I don't care because you don't think you will. That's why you will.
if I get to that point, I feel no emotional like reaction.
You will
Like
cry. You will cry.
I'll put it this way: I knew Obi-Wan wasn't going to kill Anakin. We're gonna get to that
Oh,
when
oh,
we
oh,
talk
oh,
about
guys, our backgrounds. If you're listening to this, my
it.
background is Anakin. His background is Obi-Wan
Oh yeah,
because he is defending very soon.
I will do what I must.
you, you will try. You will try. But yeah, continue. Continue.
Lord, like I'll put it this way: when it comes to like major points that have been spoiled on One Piece, I knew that Obi-Wan can't kill Anakin because it's said before episode 4 in the Kenobi show. So I know he
Mm-hmm.
can't kill Anakin. And also know that they're not going to leave on the best terms and be best friends and buddy buddy afterwards because, again, episode 4 has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
However, I still got highly emotional at their little scene together. So, knowing
You got
that they're going marry, we'll talk about it, Stephen. We'll talk about it. Right? He's making a face. If you're
it.
listening in,
I'm not making a
a
face.
disapproving, almost hateful
Oh man.
face. But if that was able to make me feel emotion, and I am fully aware of what happens up to like 50 years after this point in time in the series, if I get to this ship and it gets a hole in it and it sinks faster than the Titanic, and I look at the screen and say, I don't care, I'm going to.
How about we try this? How about we try this? Right?
Okay.
Because this will help me understand where you stand. Because I fully believe, right, there are moments that in One Piece that once you get to, they kind of they kind of become staples for you. It makes the series like solid for you, right?
Mhm.
Just like let's say the Rock Lee moment, Rock Lee versus Sasuke, right? Naruto versus Neji. These are staples in Naruto, similar to One Piece, right? You can give me a little play-by-play of how you feel so far in the series. Where are you at? Give me a little progress update.
Where am I right now?
Yeah, how you feeling
Okay.
about the series so far? Who are your favorite characters?
Okay, so I decided to rewatch it from the beginning just to, freshen myself up. My favorite
Okay.
characters are, let's see, I like Zoro. Zoro's dope. I like him. He's pretty cool, pretty dope. A little bit of an idiot, but yeah. Um,
Yes, he is.
Sanji is probably the best lecherous character I've ever seen in a show, in an anime, at the very least.
Okay.
Like, I feel he's funnier, what's it called, than Master Roshi, and I feel he's not it is not overdone like let's say Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins or the grape-headed boy Mineta from My Hero.
Meliodas is straight up just a perv. He's
He
not
really
even he's not making a joke.
he needs to be on a watch list. The only reason he's not is because he killed the cops.
But yeah, continue. Okay, so Sanji you think is well written. It's funny because this is not spoiling anything, but people say Sanji is one of the most well written characters in the show, up to the point where we're at. Like he's probably one of the most well written side characters ever.
Where I'm at in the show, he's not the deepest character, but I like his backstory. And B, I do enjoy the fact that he's not a one note character. Like when I first saw him, it's like he's a chef and he can fry. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a running gag where people don't like his cooking and he's gonna beat the snot out of him. But then I found it interesting that it's all right if you don't like his cooking, just don't be disrespectful.
And that's
Like
a fact.
people like what they like. But if you tell me I can't cook just because you don't like it, I'll punch you in the face. I'll
Wait,
kick you in your shin.
wait, so you got to the point where so you know he's a good chef though, right? He's
Oh
never
yeah,
had
he's a good
okay,
chef.
okay.
The only person who told him that his cooking is garbage is the dude who showed him how to cook.
On his F. On his F.
I never thought Gordon Ramsay would be a good anime character, but lo and behold.
That's a fact. Yo, I need him in a live action just to be you fucking donkey. Yo, Gordon Ramsay for One Piece live action. That's what we need. We need Gordon Ramsay for Owner's F.
Old Sanji.
Give him a peg leg with the twisty mustache.
Oh, him as Zeph, that would be hilarious. Sounds like, yo, I made this for you, you old fart. Blonde, absolutely tasteless.
Absolutely disgusting.
If I still had my leg, I'd cut it off after tasting this.
Okay. So
I ate better when I starved on that island.
I'd rather eat fucking gold. Yo, oh my god. Yeah. So that would work. That would be fire. Okay, so Sanji and Zoro, do you think are good side characters?
Uh-huh.
Better than Sakura and fucking Sasuke. So
Shippuden Sakura, a wet bag of cement is better than Shippuden Sakura.
Shippuden
Late
Sakura
Shippuden
is
Sakura.
addition by subtraction. Like,
She was so good. Sorry.
no, she wasn't.
In the beginning, when we were in like the
Can we do this?
Sakura arc.
Let me stop you right here. Let me stop you right here. I agree Sakura is not the best character, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I agree that Sakura is not what she should have been. I agree with you. I do think she is a good character in context of Naruto. And I hate that people shit on Sakura. She's the best written female character in the show next to Tsunade, who is her teacher. And I will defend Sakura. I don't care what nobody says. I will defend Sakura.
Steven?
I will defend Sakura.
How?
She's a medical ninja. What do you want her to do?
Medic some stuff.
Shoot fireballs?
She did nothing. She did nothing.
Yeah, because she was fighting literally the greatest ninjas in the fucking world that's blowing up villages.
Who she was fighting? Who she fought?
She fought Sasori.
Who she fought?
She fought Sasori. She beat his ass.
That's it. That she did nothing until the end, where they gave her a Super Saiyan Rage power boost.
Okay, cool. What Rock Lee do? What Rock Lee do? What did Rock Lee do?
What Rock Lee do?
What Rock Lee do? Rock Lee is only fought his niggas with that energy, right? He went to Gaara. He went to Gaara. Okay.
He fought. Let's see.
When it came to the enemies, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it came to the Sound Ninja and the Sand Ninja, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Once we hit the time skip and we go out in the world, he's nowhere to be found. Missing in act. He's a missing nin. He might as well be fucking Akatsuki. Where is this guy at?
Listen, right?
Sakura is better than Rock Lee in the story.
He threw the kunai that helped Might Guy to have an opening to beat up Madara, right? And that's at least should have did more, but he did more than Sakura.
Naruto is wasted. The whole show has wasted characters. The whole fucking show is full of wasted potential characters.
And you're saying on top of the pile of wasted characters, Sakura,
and it's just so fucking funny that the series is about potential and working your hardest, but Kishimoto did not work at fucking all to build his characters out, right?
Not at all.
He didn't work at all. We've seen Ino talk 6 times in the whole series. Who the fuck has Shino fought? Ever.
Okay, listen, you can't disrespect Shino, even though
Shino is disgusting.
Shino himself is frustrated
with the writing of Shino. Bro? You know
Shino
what they do
in the show saying, I want to fight. And the writer be like, no.
Yo. I mean, bro, like the whole show is filled with wasted potential characters. And Sakura,
most of those wasted potential fighters did not actively make situations worse when they did absolutely nothing.
But Sakura
she would do something and make stuff worse.
But that's her character arc, though. That's my thing.
Her character arc.
That's her character arc.
Went off.
That's her character. At least she has a character arc.
Emotional trauma.
She has a character arc.
I don't care about Sasuke. And then she went off, got herself nearly killed by this man twice within 30 seconds of each other.
That's love, though. You ain't never been in the hood and seen how people fight when they love each other?
Have I been in the hood and somebody's poison?
Can I level with you? Can I level with you for a second? Okay.
I'm sure you can level.
Sasuke is a hood nigga. Sasuke came from a broken home with a lot of murder and he lived in the ghetto of Konoha, right? Sakura likes the bad boys. She likes her a scammer. That's what Sasuke was to her, right? She is just falling in the trap of a lot of women. And that's her character arc, is to say, you know what? Naruto, you a good guy with a 9 to 5. I can't be with you, right? You come from the Hokage bloodline. You got Jiraiya as a teacher. I can mess with the dude who's out there on the streets, right? That's what that her character arc is to say, you know what? I don't need this for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the story, what she said is, I'm not chasing that boy no more. I'm gonna sit at home, right? If he
Mm-hmm.
come, he come. That's her character arc. She learned, I can't chase you. I can't change you. I can't take the streets out of you, right? That's her character arc.
You telling me that she went from somebody with some strong morals to somebody who was hypnotized by an emo kid's um ability to use various jutsu on her?
Correct.
First of all, Stephen,
She's like an OnlyFans girl.
no.
What?
First of all, I think you fundamentally have a bad starting point for Sasuke. He's not a hood dude, okay? He's
Sasuke's a
that emo
hood
kid in the
individual.
back of the class with a book bag that has no books, but it got something in it.
He didn't have
That's
no
who he is. He's a
friends.
dude looking for a reason. That man found a reason when a snake man licked the side of his neck, all right? Which, again, if he was on the hood, I don't think I would have flew, but he let the snake man lick the side of his neck. He said, I'm gonna go be with him. So
Wait. So you telling me, right? The
Mhm,
Uchiha part of the village off in the cut over there,
mhm.
that's not the ghetto?
No, that's a trailer park.
Oh, so you're saying he is in the ghetto,
It's
but
a
he's
bunch
in
of
the white ghetto.
people from the same family all marrying each other
Oh,
and
so
being with
he
each other.
got
That's a trailer park. It's a trailer park in the middle of West Bubble F, Alabama. All
oh, so
right,
she's
and
not
Sasuke
a
got done with
okay.
it. All right, it's a trailer park. That's where Sasuke came from. He came from a trailer park. Sasuke is trailer trash. All
Okay.
right, he's trailer trash. His daddy was the police chief of a small hick town. All right, and they wanted to
Okay.
go and try and take over the big city boys.
Okay. That's why he didn't like Naruto, because it's
That's when the
okay.
mayor of the city stepped in and was like, "Okay, we can't be having this."
Okay.
And
Okay.
their hick child went off and murdered all of them, but they couldn't touch Sasuke because Jesus Christ, we need some drama.
We need some drama. You know what? Now that I think about it, does it make sense for him to have saved Sasuke?
Who, Itachi?
Yeah.
Not at all. No.
Because my thing is this: if you loved your little brother because he was innocent,
Mhm.
what the fuck was his mom doing?
I guess because they were all in on the coup, they all had to die, and Sasuke ain't knowing nothing about it because he was, I guess, the only child
But what
in
about
his
the other
team.
children?
I didn't see any other Uchiha children.
Can
Sasuke was
you
like the
can't
one child.
you can't name me a set of ideals that say everyone deserves to die except Sasuke.
Yeah, there's one set of ideals called hypocrisy.
As long as we
He
admit it.
said, "Mama, you gotta die. Mama, you may have fed me, but I'm gonna have to kill you. Daddy, you gonna play catch with these hands.
Why are
Sasuke,
you
all
doing
right,
Hick
cool.
voice with Itachi was a
Because
Hick too?
I told you they're trailer park white trash
They're
from the
hood
gutter,
guys, bro. They're hood
huh?
people. The
No,
Uchiha
they ain't
are
from
the
the
hood.
hood. Uchiha are not from the hood. Okay, if Uchiha wasn't from the hood, they are the cops.
They are the
They're the
Robinsons.
cops
They're
of the
they're the
city. They ain't
Robinsons
from
of
the
the.
hood.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
They had their own police force.
What do you mean?
They were the cops.
You never seen Family Matters? The dad is a cop on
Nah,
there.
man, nah. Not the entire family. Not the entire family being cops. Not the entire family. What that
They
sound
made
like? That
what
sound
they
like
tried to
that sound like
do,
Trailer Park Town where everybody puts on their sheriff hat and now it's martial law.
but that's why it didn't work, because what they tried to do was say, okay, you motherfuckers is violent. Okay.
Mhm,
That's how we think of you. So what
mhm.
we're gonna do is
Like Violent Hillbillies.
take you and make you the people in charge of protecting everybody else.
Mhm,
Use your violence for good, right? That's what they try to do. And it
mhm,
wasn't working. They were using their violence for extortion and money and all this other stuff.
mhm.
Probably selling eyes or whatever and
Mhm,
forbidden jutsus and shit. They was
mhm,
probably wilding out,
mhm.
selling ninja tools on the corner. Like they probably was going crazy.
I highly doubt that. What it sounded like to me, all right, is a matter of fact, here's how I know that these are like gun totting hillbillies with a whole bunch of firearms locked up in their freaking RV. All right. their main hitter, the patriarch of this whole Hatfield McCoy family, literally Madara, literally went up to another dude and said, "This town ain't big enough for the both of us."
Okay, you might be right.
And there was absolutely no beef. Hood people, like, and they were like, if this is like a gang warfare culture, they'll be like, "Oh man, he did this, so this is retaliation," something like that. Nah, this man woke up like, "I feel like shooting my gun today." That's
So
that was
then,
Madara.
wait. Are you trying to say that then the Hyuga clan is the black people because they're opposites? They're polar opposites
Yep.
now. The Hyuga clan was way more put together. They're like the mafia. That's what I would say.
You
And
can love the
Uchiha would
mafia.
be the hood. Uchiha's the hood. The that clan over there, the Hyugas, they're the mafia. They have the mafiosos. They have the sons. Like Neji, he's like he's like the
Mhm,
guy. He's like one of the little men.
mhm. I wouldn't even say they're mafioso culture. I would
Mafioso
say
culture.
that they are. I wouldn't even say they're a culture. I think they're just like a really abusive family.
Wait, no, you
My
don't
man
remember.
said, "Yo, you got good grade. What's called? You get average grades, but I like you. All right, quiet. You stay out of my way. You get daddy a beer whenever he wants it. You get a pass. You get good grades and you loud. Yo, pass me my tattoo needle and my belt. I'm put something on your forehead.
Oh, shit.
This will
Oh
teach you.
man.
Like, yo, dude, did
Okay.
I catch you wanting to be something with your life?"
Did I catch you wanting to be something? Okay. So you're saying you're sticking to your gun. Sakura is a bad character. So you're not
Sakura's a
allowing
terrible
me.
character.
I think
Sakura
she had a character
literally.
arc. So her character arc is struggling with getting away from a toxic partner. And I think a lot
She
of
married
people
him.
he
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 then
changed. He
impregnated her, and
changed.
then he went
That's
to
when
go
he
get some
changed.
milk in the Hidden Sand Village.
That's when he changed. That's what you're not
Steven,
understanding
he
that.
went to the ninja store to go get ninja milk after that baby was born. All right, and he ain't come back yet. All right, this man don't live at home. That's not his home. All right, he don't pay child support. He be saying,
Listen,
"Yeah, I'm off on a mission," but I'll be like, "Yo, this man can teleport. All right, he don't come to see his child.
that's his
He can
that
teleport. All right,
so you
that's the
saying she's
most.
dumb?
That's the most ain't crap baby daddy in all of anime. I
That's
know
not
people love
true.
to say,
That's
yo,
not
I love
true.
people love to
That's
say
not
it's
true.
Goku. People love to say
No,
it's
no.
Jing.
It's Jing freaks.
No,
It's
no,
Jing
no, no.
freaks. No,
Jing
no,
at
no.
least, Jing at least acknowledges his son and says out loud, "I don't want to see it." All right, he ain't crap, but he's honest about it. Sasuke, he over here training his rival's child, and then he like, I guess like, you want me to see my what?
He's
Daughter.
at least he's there. You know what I mean? He's
He's
around
there.
somewhere in the vicinity. Jing Freak sends his child on a scavenger hunt, and then when he succeeds, a deadly scavenger hunt into magical video games that trap people for the rest of their life through fucking ants that kill and eat humans,
Mhm,
right? When his
mhm,
son did everything in the world to find him,
mhm.
he said, "Nah, nigga, I ain't expect you to do that shit.
Okay.
Don't, I don't want
That's
to
a
see
terrible
you."
father. All right.
Yeah.
However, I would like to posit this one thing. Gon was born, right?
Yes.
Okay. Which means his mama ain't dead, which means that Jing didn't try to actively kill his mother several times in a row.
Sasuke didn't. That was before they got together.
Sasuke is such a horrible father and partner to
Why you
Sakura.
bringing up old
That,
shit? That's my.
I'll put it this way: Sakura has pictures in her house. I haven't watched all of Boruto, but I have seen this. All right, she has pictures of her in her house. She has pictures of her daughter. She has pictures of herself, and she has a picture of Sasuke. Exactly one picture, Stephen. All
You
right,
don't
now
take pictures.
no, no. Here's the thing: Boruto takes place after a time skip of
The feds
several
is out.
years, damn near a decade. All right, like a decade. All right, Boruto's like 12. All right, so
Listen,
this
you
is like
see
12
hood
years
dudes take
after these
pictures?
people.
No.
Hold on. This is like 12 years after they are already adults. All right, you know when the picture's from? The only picture that Sakura has of Sasuke is when he was wearing an Akatsuki cloak.
Oh my god.
You know how far back that was.
He
This is
was
his
repping
wanted
his set.
poster.
He
He
was
takes
repping his
so
set.
few family photos that his wanted poster is the family photo for this man.
Listen,
He is the worst daddy in all of anime.
listen.
Dude,
You just
Jing is
start
bad, but
reading
he's
One
not
Piece, so let's
wanted
slow down.
poster on the
You just
family
start
president.
you just start reading One Piece, so let's slow down a little bit. There's some pretty bad ones in there. Okay?
I'm pretty. Well, listen, all right, when your occupation is pirate, I don't think you're gonna be daddy of the year.
Some of these dudes take it to the next level. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Anime dads are the worst. They either don't exist to the child or they actively try and kill them like several times in a row and say they did it out of love every single time.
I used to despise Chi Chi for how she treated Gohan, but I grew to understand her a little bit better.
Because who wants their child to grow up to be Goku?
And I'm starting to think that Future Trunks living with Jess Bulma, that's why he turned out good.
Oh, yeah,
So,
definitely.
that's why he turned, because Kid Trunks is a little asshole because Vegeta was in his life for a handful of years.
Vegeta was in his life. He grew up alongside Goku and Goten. This boy's been spoiled beyond all belief. To what's the goal? When it
Kid
comes to
Trunks was
that,
exposed to toxic masculinity very early in his life.
very early, so toxic and fat that he got punched in the face when he was like 9 years old, and then in order to make him start crying, he said, "I'll take you to the music park. Just shut up. Shut the hell up, you man."
Listen, all right. Anime has some toxic male culture, all right?
Yo, can you imagine your child? Can you imagine your child growing up to be Goku?
Oh,
Like, just imagine that. Like, everybody's like, "Yo, I wanted to be Goku when I grew up." Yo, imagine if Goku was your father. You grow up to be like him. You'd be an unemployed bum who likes to fight random people.
you mean a guy down
Wearing
the
the
street
same
from me?
wearing the same outfit every single time.
You mean the guy that's on the corner?
Goku's a crackhead that can fly. He be getting the random fights in random locations. He be eating straight beans.
he's on the wanted list. So the world just stopped chasing him at one point. Like, we ain't gonna catch him. Let's just hope he don't want to whoop your ass. Yeah.
He's one of those crackheads who go around literally talking up in the air like they talking to God, except for him it was like real.
So are you saying that
Making
aliens?
time, and everybody else is around here like, "Hey, oh."
So are you saying that if aliens come to Earth, crackheads will save us?
Huh?
If aliens come to Earth, the crackheads will line up.
Here's the
save
thing,
us.
all right? Goku don't fight to save people, so yeah, he's literally a crackhead. He don't fight to save people. He fought because he's bored that day. He's a crackhead. Goku became the fights because he's bored. Reese is a galactic tyrant, but the second the Super Saiyan crack off, he's like, "All right, I'm done fighting. You go do what you want.
Give him
I ain't have no more."
All right, I'm leaving Earth. I'll be back.
He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna blow up your planet. I'm gonna blow up several more planets." "Ah, yeah, but I'm coming down." He took so much drugs, in fact, that he caught a heart disease off of it.
He did take a lot of drugs.
He took so much drugs, he caught a heart disease that he needed future medicine to solve. Trunks didn't give him a futuristic medicine. He gave him a detox pill.
He gave him a detox.
That's
He
why
gave
he
him
was in
some
that bed. He was
ibuprofen.
sweating it out. He was getting the cold shakes.
Yo, Goku
Dragon
was
Ball makes
fucking going
20%
through
more sense
withdrawal
if you accept the fact that he was on crack the entire time.
the entire time.
The entire
That's why his feet, when he do the run, when his arms go like that, his feet move. Yeah, I mean, they did say
That's
what?
not Ultra Instinct. That's him on speed.
That's him on speed.
Crackheads be dodging like that. You ever seen crackhead get into a fight? You see how naturally they dodge? They got Ultra Instinct.
Because they used to
You ever
fight.
trying to hold down a crackhead? That's Ultra Instinct.
No, I've never done that. I've never tried to hold down a crack. All right, so now that we're canceled, and I can't upload this shit no more. This is why we don't go live.
That's an entire fact.
Oh my god.
Goku got promised some crack for some weird thing. Be like, "Yo, I'll give you a whole mountain of this stuff if you do one thing for me." All right, what's that? Pull your hair out and shave your eyebrows. All right.
But Super Saiyan 3. Scream for 5 minutes straight. I give you a dollar. And then Majin Buu just sat there and watched.
That's That's why Bobbity wasn't worried. Oh, big deal. You sat down and taken a strange powder, up your nose. And that is the best part of
With his head shaking.
That's why everybody's eyes are closed. Like, I sensed something near a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, crackhead Goku is the funniest shit I ever seen in my life. Okay, all right, 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 all right. We are not getting canceled. We just came back. Listen. Oh my god. I don't even know how to transition out of that.
Gohan's in a mentorship program. That's where Piccolo come in.
He did a mentorship program. So Piccolo's a big brother. Big brother.
Hey man, ain't nothing in these streets for you, Gohan.
You just stay in school, all right?
Don't be like me. I wear this do-rag all the time.
You think Piccolo got an ankle monitor and fucking orange ass?
Yeah, I know those brown Gucci slides.
All right, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. Time out. I'll be right back. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, we should have did that for Father's Day.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah, that would have been hilarious.
Who do you think is the worst anime father?
Who's the worst anime father? Jing Freaks is up there. Goku is obviously there, but I have to give Goku his credit because at least he was there. He was a terrible father, but he was there.
Oh yeah,
you gotta give him his credit. There was a father who did some toxic shit, and I can't remember what show it was, to make their son more powerful or some shit like that. What show was this?
You know who's a bad father?
Who? I'm going with Jing. I'm going with Jing Freaks is the worst, but go ahead.
Like Yagami's dad in Death Note.
Because he's dumb as hell.
Yo, bro, how you a whole psycho killer in your house? You the cops.
He loved his child too much to suspect him.
Nah, man. Nah. When you hear this man snickering every time you misread a clue, they're like, okay, I think we think the killer has red hairs, and then he's off and going.
Listen, all right, I was in his head. I was all in his head.
Yo, he be smiling to himself, and he be like pausing to think to himself. The smile ain't in his head. He just be in the corner like, we think the killer might be in the United States instead of Japan. This man is in the corner. They don't say the smile in his head. That's his face at that point. Nobody turns around like, you all right, man?
Who's the worst anime father? Oh, hands down. Bleach's father. I mean, Bleach's. Ichigo's father from Bleach is the worst father in anime.
That nigga is the worst.
He's dumb as hell. And then they just gonna say, oh, he's actually a really intelligent fighter. So why the fuck he ain't help at all?
Yo, the fact that he's a Soul Reaper at all shows that he's a terror. This man watched his son get thrown around by like 18 Espada. Yeah, this man gonna pop up at the end, do no fighting, and be like, hey, yo, you won't learn a move that'll take away all your powers forever so I can never help out again.
The fuck? That was the weirdest
hey, yo,
shit.
son, I know you feel responsible for your mom's death because you know you should. However, me with my infinite shenanigans,
he's the worst father because he was there, but he wasn't on purpose.
Like, you want to go fight the most powerful Soul Reaper of all time? I have fun.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna kick you in the face when you come in the door for no reason at all. I'm gonna make coming home a living hell for you. So you're always outside seeing fucking ghosts that I know you see at all times. You go to the store, it's a fucking ghost behind you. But when you come in the house, I'm gonna kick you in your shit.
Yo, you know what the worst part is that, yo, other Shinigami could sense when there's other like demons and whatnot around, right? So
Yeah,
every single time one thing showed up and beat his son upside the head, this man sat at home like, I'm sure he got it.
I'm sure. Yo, you fucking captain level. If you get the fuck up and go help, go train this nigga or something. Damn, he's struggling with hollows and shit. He's going through something.
He got beat up by this green haired man,
Yeah,
and this man's like 3 blocks away, like, smell like bitch in here.
he in the, he in the house sipping his tea, raising his fucking daughters. His son outside getting thrown through buildings. It's a Dragon Ball Z fight outside. Like,
Listen, I'm not gonna help.
I'm not gonna. He probably could. He'll be all right.
Got it.
He's about to awaken right now. Don't worry about it. So he's the worst father in anime.
Go show them and say, yo, I heard you got a whole hollow inside of you. It would suck. It would have sucked if I had come and helped coach you through that sooner. But I'm here now when you're about to give your life fighting this man.
Remember when you let the hollow take over your body just so you had a chance to survive?
Remember when that one captain level dude who's probably weaker than me sliced you damn near in half?
I seen it. I was there.
When a demon showed up literally outside the house and I pretended that I couldn't see it, I seen it.
Yo, like, he's really the final villain. He's the final villain. Ichigo needs to come home from all that shit and close the door and be like, Dad, where the fuck was you at? And they need to just fight. That's the final.
The real Aizen the whole time.
He's the real Aizen the whole time. Speaking of Aizen, who is the smartest character in all of anime?
Smartest character in all of anime.
Mm-hmm. And you can't. I mean, it's kind of cheating to say one character, but I'll see if you even take it there.
All right. I think L is up there from Death Note.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I would almost put Light above L, mostly because
he won.
L got.
He did get got.
But then again, Light cheated. But you know what? I'm gonna give it to L. If he knew the rules, he probably would have got Kira.
You give it to L.
He's the smartest, conventionally smart person. If you're talking like battle tactics smart,
don't say it.
What, Shikamaru?
Don't say Shikamaru. Shikamaru's trash.
Shikamaru was smart as all hell.
Shikamaru is trash.
Yo, remember him be over here formulating plans? Half of them don't be working.
This nigga elaborately finds a way every time, and he's like, shit, I can't win. Like, every time, if I go left, right, up, down, B, A, start, and then I use his technique to do this and that and this, and I'll just be able to lose. Like, the only way to draw him is get him to fall into this technique in which I have to stand still and then convince him to do this and that. You trash.
He's the smartest man whose plans never work.
They never work because he has no abilities.
His plan worked exactly like once, and even then, like, it messed up on like one of the details, like when he got one of the Akatsuki members to kill the other Akatsuki members. Like, all right, that's one down. And then he ain't know that the other one had like 3 more hearts.
Yeah, he down in Kaku. Yeah. His whole plan, he has no abilities. His whole plan is to get you to stand still, right? So if he can't get you to stand still, he's shit out of luck. But it just so happens that everybody is stupid. So he finds a way to do it. So that's how he wins.
Every single time.
Yeah, so I think the cheating answer to the smartest character in anime has to be the main character from Dr. Stone.
I'm about to say, don't say Aizen.
No, it has to be the main character from Dr. Stone. It's kind of cheating. This dude literally rebuilt the fucking world from nothing. So it has to be him. But if you don't say him, who would you say?
Aizen is cheating. You can't use Aizen. That
Yeah,
man,
he stops time, basically.
this man stops time. He creates perfect illusions, and then like it's not even the fact that Aizen is smart. It's like he read the script, so he just knows what's gonna happen. Bro was like at
I
one
got an
point,
answer.
what?
Bulma.
Oh wait a minute, you
Bulma's
might be
my answer. Bulma's my answer.
I think I can agree to that.
Bulma's the smartest
Bulma
character
be,
in all of anime. That's
Bulma
not
be just
cheating.
straight up just doing stuff.
She invented a time machine. She invented homes that come out of a fucking
She
bottle.
invented technology that can detect magic.
Yes, correct. Correct.
She literally made
In real
all Dragon
time.
Ball easy.
In real time as it shoots up and spurts out into
She made a spaceship that can go faster than light speed
Didn't
in
she
like a
make the
weekend.
translator? She made the translator to talk to the dragon on Namek, right?
Wait, did she do that? I don't think she did
Because
that.
they couldn't talk to the dragon.
No, they got Dende to help out with
They
that.
got Dende. Okay, okay, okay. No.
But she,
But she did have a translator, if I remember correctly. But I think they
no, wait,
used
no, she
Dende.
reprogrammed a scouter to go from an alien language that there's no way she could have known
Yeah, some shit like that. It's like,
into,
yo,
I'm guessing, Japanese.
she turned her fucking cave into a penthouse like, on Namek. Bulma's the smartest character in anime.
She made a thing that can just make things appear out of a puff of smoke.
I don't know how she did it, but all the technology in Dragon Ball is thanks to fucking Bulma. She is
Bulma
a
literally
billionaire.
saves the series half the time, and I don't think we give her enough credit for that.
That's a fact. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
all the Dragon Ball arcs
She's
without Bulma,
technology. She's technology. She's more useful than Yamcha and Krillin.
that's an entire fact. Yo, in
I'm
fact,
surprised she didn't fucking
Krillin
invent
reversed
sensu
one
beans.
of her best feats. She took what's called. She took the blueprints to one of the most advanced technological fighters on the planet, something that energy does not run out, and made an off switch for it.
Wait, what?
And then Krillin got horny, and then
Oh
that
my
plane went on the drain.
Okay. Listen, I don't blame Krillin at all. I don't blame Krillin at all, okay? Sometimes we like she didn't need to have too much body, you
He
could
took a
get away
nuke
with the
bomb out of
machine.
16, and that thing did not even blow up.
Krillin made some upgrades over the years too. So
Some upgrade. Oh my god.
what? All right, next topic.
Oh my god.
He can't take her to Dr. Miami like everybody else.
Still got a Dr. Jerome.
All right. We're done with anime.
Right,
That was fun. That was a good topic.
indeed.
Video games as bland as possible. Final Fantasy VII. We talked about that. We're still kind of on anime, and I do want to show this. So, I was gonna talk about Yu Yu Hakusho has a new OVA coming out.
That's been rumored to be happening for the past like 5 years now.
No, I know, but it's supposed to be official now. I don't know what the difference is, but
because I guess Tagashi is just in the mood to make stuff now.
correct. So Tagashi decided he wanted to come to work today. Hunter x
Enjoy
Hunter.
while it lasts.
Hunter x Hunter is coming out with chapters.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
of course it is.
I just want to let you know I know.
Tagashi. Gashi.
Tagashi. He coming back, all right? He's coming back with chapters. Listen.
That man.
Oh, your background.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
I would. I would. All right.
When you get to the point where the nickname of your show is hiatus,
let me ask you a question. Speaking of Hunter x Hunter, and then we'll move on to the next topic.
All right.
Quick Hunter x Hunter question. How would you, if you are an anime studio, how would you fix Hunter x Hunter? Would you continue on without Tagashi? Would you do what would you do with the IP if you own the rights to Hunter x Hunter? Because I'll start. I'll tell you what I would do.
Let's hear it.
If I own Hunter x Hunter, I would make movies, or I would make OVAs. Like I would take Hisoka vs. Chrollo and make a movie, or make a little OVA episode. I would take certain moments from the Dark Continent and make a little movie out of it so far and condense it. And I would try to tell the stories that he's telling in short form and not necessarily try to do a whole series, because that format works so much better in Hunter x Hunter now that Gon is not the main character anymore. Because the main series is over. We're just telling side stories now, basically.
But ain't Hunter x Hunter like a collection of side stories? Almost.
Not
Like, half the time the arcs have
necessarily.
nothing to do with each other.
No, that's not true.
What's it called? There is nothing that happens in the Chimera and arc that relates to either Greed Island or York New City. Besides like the connecting tissue on how they get to these spots. They got to Greed Island because they got the game out of York New City. But nothing in Greed Island was like, hey, you remember that time where the Phantom Troop killed all those people?
He found Kite, and Kite was doing something in that area, basically.
And
because he went
Kite
to
had nothing
Kite's
to do with the
location.
previous arcs either. The
No,
only reason Kite was important to the Greed Island arc is because they made a choice where they said you can either go left or right, and they went right. So now we got Kite.
yeah, I mean, not necessarily. It is kind of a collection of stories, but it follows characters. I would say
It's
the
a
main
plot.
four. It follows the main four. That's it.
Indeed. Like for a hot minute, Kurapika was the main character.
He's now the main character again.
I feel like they like to like switch out, which I kind of like. Like, let's see, when it was the Heavens Arena arc, it was Dawn and Killer were the main characters. And then when we got to York New City, it went to Kurapika. Then when we got to them picking a new Hunter president or whatever it is. Leorio and Killua and
Leorio. I might be Leorio for Comic-Con. That's a little easy to beat, right?
You're gonna be a 20-something-year-old old man.
All right. So next topic on the show. Hunter x Hunter can't be fixed. Next topic on the show. Speaking of what else can't be fixed.
Steven.
Speaking of what else can't be fixed, we are gonna address, guys. We have backgrounds on this show, green screen backgrounds. Mine is of Anakin Skywalker, and his is of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello there.
Now, if here's a decision that you have to make for me as my friend. Right. Is the Obi-Wan Kenobi show canon?
You mean, do I regard it as canon, or is it actually
canon? Do you regard it as canon?
I regard it as canon.
Is it actual canon?
It is actual canon.
Obi-Wan is no longer my favorite character then. If this counts, he's not my guy anymore.
What?
He's not my guy anymore. Anakin is my guy. I've switched from Obi-Wan being my favorite Star Wars character to Mr. Skywalker.
Mr. Skywalker got beat up by a bunch of rocks.
Mr. Skywalker. Listen, okay? They're just doing magic at this point now.
It was always magic.
I hate that. No, it's not. It never was just the Force. That's not how it worked. It's not how it worked.
The main enemy of the series is dressed as a wizard. He's an old wizard who holds his hands like this, and then he shoots lightning.
Discrediting this is something that triggers me about fantasy, right? That's like saying in Harry Potter, oh, it's just magic. So they could just do this and kill everybody in a room because it's just magic. But no, there's rules, right? You can't just wave your hands frantically and kill everyone.
Voldemort literally does that at one point.
No, actually, what happens is you can get strong enough to a point where you don't have to cast spells and say the words anymore. Voldemort is so powerful, he doesn't have to say the words. He's doing it in his mind.
You mean in the series where it's established where you probably have to say the words to the thing? So you telling me that?
No, I'm telling you they create magic. Let me finish. They create, because I'm actually serious. I'm not letting you off the hook with this. Okay, they created a logical reasoning for that skill set. And the only person that can do that is the strongest person. He's a barometer for it. If
Mm-hmm.
you're out there just casting random ass spells without saying anything, you must be stronger than Voldemort or on his level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Harry Potter did. Star Wars has the same thing. Star Wars has abilities that people can do. They have limitations, they have specific abilities. Once
Mm-hmm.
we just start doing magic, you're taking it out of those abilities now. They're just doing random shit, like just throwing a bunch of rocks at you. Like it's like you're not trying anymore. You're just doing whatever. You're just doing whatever you think is cinematic.
Okay. So you're saying you missed when Star Wars' magic system had rules.
Yes,
I'm about to end this man's whole career. Star Wars' magic system never had no goddamn rules.
incorrect.
There's not a single rule in any of the movies
It's
that
not.
say,
Go ahead. Go
bro,
ahead. Go ahead.
man, listen, all right, I'm gonna break it down for you, bro. All
Let
right.
well, you know what? Before we do that, let's structure. Let's recap the episode.
Okay, let's recap.
How do you feel about the 6th episode of Obi-Wan?
Okay. I felt it was the strongest episode of the show. I would probably only put the opening episode on its level. The reason I say that is because the Obi-Wan and Vader storyline was wrapped really well. I also like the conversation that they had at the end. It was very emotional. Ewan McGregor played the hell out of that scene. And Hayden Christensen really sold like that in between phase. Anakin is still new-ish to being Vader, but he's very clearly very far gone, and he is not coming back. At least not at that point. That part really got me. Not gonna lie. I think the ending was a nice little upbeat sort of thing. And also, while I was hoping that they weren't going to go the redemption route with Reva, I don't think that I don't think it was handled terribly. It's just that I've seen it too often at this point. That characters who are evil then find the errors of the ways, and I know that's what Star Wars is about. That everybody, let's call that, nobody's ever too far gone to come back. I know that's what Star Wars usually preaches in all of the movies and whatnot. That, hey, yo, you did some messed up stuff, but there's always a way back if you just, want to. I understand that Star Wars to its core, but I was kind of hoping that for once they would have a villain that has a sympathetic backstory, but then not redeem them. I was kind of looking forward to that, and I think it would have been a harder landing if she had died in her rage rather than like seeing the error of her ways. That being said, I thought that she was going to turn at the end of episode 5, and in episode 6 she would be good. So it was refreshing that she went from that to like, I'm gonna murder this man's child because I deserve something today.
Okay. So
I
what's your
kind of like that. I like that they didn't just be like, "Well, Vader betrayed me, so now I'm gonna go help Obi-Wan." No, this she said Vader betrayed me, so I'm going to kill his child because I don't like this guy.
what's your rating for the episode?
The episode itself, out of 10, I would give an 8.5.
Okay.
It
I
would
would
be a
give
10 if I felt like they didn't go by the numbers with Reva, but
I would give it a 5 out of 10.
you're gonna have to explain that one to me, man.
I'll explain it. Right.
Uh,
I'm very resistant to member berries and
mhm,
pulling on nostalgia because I think it needs to be earned.
mhm,
And I heard a couple of people say this series did not justify its existence at
mhm,
all. It didn't need to happen, right?
mhm.
This entire story does nothing for Obi-Wan at all as a character. Nothing that he couldn't have had a really deep dream about and then woke up and came out with the same level of conviction that he had at the end, right? None of this was compelling as a character for Obi-Wan. So therefore, if you're gonna give me Hayden Christensen versus Ewan McGregor, I'm not gonna give you credit for that now, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna say, "Oh, this is amazing. They brought the two characters back." It is amazing, but for what? To do what? You brought them back to do what? This is like the Seinfeld reunion. It's like, yeah, this is great, but like, why? Why are we doing this? So
This is
now I'm
Star Wars
judging
about
it.
nothing.
The story that's about nothing. That's this. That's this. So for me, I get it. It's cool. I definitely had moments where I'm like, this is really cool, but like, why? Now, I think the choreography was terrible. I didn't necessarily like the fight. The fight just felt like a generic fight. It didn't feel like a Star Wars fight. And you have literally the two people that did the most Star Wars fighting ever, pretty much, next to
Mhm,
Luke. So it's like these guys you could just tell them, hey, really go at it just for a little
mhm,
while. And they would be able to perform well.
mhm,
One of the biggest selling points of the prequels was, hey, we're gonna really ramp up this combat, and they did that. This movie
mhm,
doesn't take advantage of that. And the fight scene just seemed terrible. Like he did the whole drop you on the rocks and then walk away. Like, what is happening? It's just so corny, everything they did. It didn't feel theatrical. It just felt generic. And you're
mhm,
giving me two characters that are really up here with their choreography level, and you're giving me a fight that's down here. Like
mhm.
that's a Ninja Turtles level fight. I would love to see the Turtles versus Shredder do exactly what they just did. Like,
Yeah,
that would be great, but
they
that's
they
not Obi-Wan versus
they
Anakin.
kind of did that.
They kinda but this is what I'm
Like
saying.
Ninja Turtles 2, they like dropped an entire pier on them.
Yeah, they did, they dropped Shredder sitting there, "Oh my god. Oh, you hit me with the boxes. Oh, the rocks. Stop it." It's a fucking Secret of Ooze level fight. Like, what is happening? So I'm criticizing them on what they brought to the table and not necessarily what Star Wars is. So you can't just, get credit for the characters that were already written.
Mhm,
You get credit for how you use them, and you use them terribly. And then the characters that you put in the story, like Ariva, to me, just didn't add anything, didn't need to be there, only served to cause frustration.
mhm,
Um, I don't see the point for the character other than to bring Obi-Wan and Anakin together. And she did that very intrusively.
mhm,
It just none of like her whole point of existing is why. That's my thing. She could have said Anakin's alive and then never see her again. That would have been great.
mhm.
So for
Okay, there was
me,
this
the
one.
series just falls flat after that episode. So I understand why people liked it. I
Mhm,
do. I get it. But for me, I penalize them for that. It's like you're pulling on the hearts of these other characters. That's my thing. So yeah,
mhm.
go ahead.
There was this one YouTuber that I like, Jeremy Johns. He's a movie and TV show reviewer on YouTube. He said, "Oh, okay, so you watched his channel."
I'll punch the
Um,
camera. Okay.
he said one thing like his opinions on Star Wars and mine differ slightly from project to project, and he also wasn't exactly a huge fan of this series. In fact, I would go to either say that his reaction was lukewarm to he didn't like it at all. That
Similar to
being
me.
said,
Mhm.
even though I do really, really like the series, he did have one criticism that I actually did think was both interesting and what they should have gone with
Mhm.
is that Reva would have been a great character in her own show. If it was a show about an inquisitor who wants revenge on Vader, and the entire show was her plotting and trying to get in close with Vader in order to try and make the takedown. Was it called like using like was it not spy tactics, but like sneaking, skulking in the background, making backroom deals, doing what she had to, killing who she had to in order to try and get to Vader before realizing, hey, maybe I'm going a little bit too far dark. I'm becoming the guy that I hate. And she's just doing all this because the ends justifies the means.
Mhm.
Called Star Wars Inquisitor or whatever the
Mhm.
hell, and then show her making this climb before it climaxes with her trying to take down Vader. You know she's gonna mess up. But by that point, you're so invested in her that you want her to like either kill him or get out scot free, and you know that neither one is gonna happen. I think that would have been a better use of this sort of character. Split it apart from the Obi-Wan series. Have Reva have her own thing, and have Obi-Wan focused on just Obi-Wan and Vader.
I
I
thought
think.
about that as well because I heard
Mhm,
that take, and I agree and disagree at the same time. I think
mhm,
that the reason I disagree that would work, I think that is changing Riva as a character. The
mhm,
way she's written right now and her personality that she is right now is just not compelling.
mhm,
But the idea of Riva, right, if done alone, can be compelling. But you have
mhm,
failed to tell that's like saying Jar Jar Binks could be compelling. You can take this character who is atrocious as written, right?
mhm,
And adjust a couple of things here or there and put them in the same sequences, and maybe it will be charming that this creature from Naboo who went through all of this stuff ended up in the Senate and he ended up being used to put Palpatine into power. That's a compelling story if you write an interesting character for Jar Jar Binks and not just make him annoying.
mhm,
But I do agree that if done right, that is an interesting story. So you
mhm,
could tell a story of a Sith Inquisitor going through all this stuff and then having withdrawals and having these visions or memories and stuff like
mhm,
that, struggling with learning the Force and killing people and all this stuff. And then you have a cameo episode with Ewan McGregor that where he with little Leia and stuff like that
mhm.
would be dope. That would be a highlight. Like, oh, this Sith Inquisitor show, you should really watch it. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. They got Obi-Wan in this episode. What? Let me sit down and watch it.
Oh snap!
But it wasn't done that way. And it wasn't done that way because I feel like they just don't care. They wanna put their own characters in Star Wars. They want to sell new toys, and they're gonna use the old stuff to do it. And I'm
Mhm,
just not interested anymore in the way that they're trying to do it. This is
mhm,
the Fantastic Beast to me at this point. This is fucking Newt Scamander with Dumbledore versus Grindelwald in the background. That's exactly what this is to me. I don't want to follow Newt Scamander. That's Riva, right? I want
uh-huh.
to see Dumbledore versus Grindelwald.
Mhm,
That's what I'm interested in. And Star
mhm,
Wars doesn't care, so I don't care anymore either. That's where I'm at with it. Like this
mhm,
series took my favorite character and put the nail in the coffin. I'm out of here. You guys have Star Wars, have at it, have fun. I don't trust
dang.
it no more. I don't trust it no more. I don't. I don't. I don't. That's where I'm at with it.
All right. Well, maybe it's like a differing point of view thing, from a certain point of view, if you might say, because maybe you're speaking as somebody who loves prequels and love that was called that take on Obi-Wan and seeing him go in this series as he goes
Yeah.
isn't exactly how you wanted him portrayed.
No.
Me, on the other hand, I'm not the biggest fan. Like, I love his work in the prequels. I think he's a fantastic actor and absolutely carries that entire trilogy on his back.
Mhm.
But I don't think he was written in any compelling sort of way in the prequels. He doesn't really
Really?
change or develop in that series of films. He doesn't go from anything to anything. He doesn't really have an arc, at least not until Revenge of the Sith, and then his arc is pretty much like resolved as soon as it's introduced. Oh, Anakin's turned to the dark side. Whatever shall I do? Kill him. I have to kill him. I will kill him. I will go kill him now.
I think Obi-Wan is a great character. I think he's like he's the hero that failed. Yeah, yeah,
You
he's
know
the
what?
hero that failed. He's necessary. For
Indeed.
Luke to succeed, he's necessary.
True.
And I think he was go ahead, because you got something.
Oh, my bad. I think the reason why I like his depiction here is because the interactions that he has with Vader are the ones that I was looking for in the prequels,
Ah, okay.
where he's actually trying. Like when he's in episode 4, he's like, he was a good friend, and then Vader betrayed and murdered your father. And he's like looking like remembering back on him with like a smile on his face. But the last time we know he saw this man, he chopped off all of his limbs, called him an evil bastard, and left him to burn on the side of a lake.
Okay. So
But in this one, it's like, yo, Anakin, I'm sorry for everything. And Anakin's like, nigga, I don't care that you're sorry.
yeah, like I don't I didn't do anything to you. Like it not I didn't do anything to you, but Anakin is more of like his whole perception is like this is not your fault, but
Mm-hmm.
it is. He like I chose this.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of what I read between the lines there. It's the
Yeah.
Anakin in him is like, I get that you're sorry, but you didn't do a bad job.
Mhm.
Almost. Right? That's a little bit of what it is. It's
Uh-huh.
like I hate everybody but you. Kind of. A little bit of that energy is there. Like I hate you too, but you're the one person I don't hate as much.
Mhm.
Like so I don't
I
know.
almost feel like he's saying in that moment where he's like, "You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did." It's almost like, "Yo, I hate you because you put me in this. What's it called? Because what's it called? You went against me when you were like the one person who's never supposed to cross that line,
Exactly.
and also you're the one who put me in this suit." But in that same breath, he's also saying, "But you're not. What's it called? You put me in the suit, but you didn't make me Vader."
Exactly. 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 So I think that it is necessary, but I felt that from the prequels.
Mm,
Because if you think about what Obi-Wan had went through, Obi-Wan was the main character in that movie pretty much in
mm-hmm,
episode 3. So for him to go through what he went through with Grievous and seeing Order 66 and everything, and watching the tape of Anakin kill younglings, and he
mm-hmm,
sat with Yoda and Yoda's like, "Yo, like you gotta go do what you gotta do. I
mm,
gotta take care of him. You gotta take care of that. And this is our only chance." So he went there with the intent, not necessarily to reason with him. He
mm-hmm,
went with the intent that you are not who I know you to be at all. So it was nothing to really talk about. I think in that situation, you got to do what you got to do. And after the fact, he's very remorseful. But I
mm-hmm,
think in his remorse, he's like, he was still in his grieving stage. And that's what I wanted in this series, and that's what I
mm-hmm,
didn't get. What I got in this series is a man who had given up, and
mm-hmm,
it's like, no, you in your mind killed a family member for the greater good of humanity, and then somehow it didn't work out. So you gave up? That's weird. Like you should be grieving, you should be struggling with this more. And he
mm-hmm,
really wasn't. I don't know. I just didn't get what I wanted. It didn't justify itself to me. It felt like you took these characters that I really cared about and you just did what you wanted with them. I
mm.
was listening to Angry Joe's review and he kind of nailed it for me. He said it's like you took the Star Wars toys and you said, fuck that, I'm gonna bring my own toys in here and I'm gonna play with these toys. Like, wait, what happened to the toys that I care about? Why am I still playing with you guys? I'm taking my toys and I'm going home. Right?
Oh my god.
That's how I feel about this series. It's like, bro, I don't care about none of this extra stuff that you added, and what you added to my characters, I don't care for either
Mm,
necessarily. So, but I did have something I wanted to say. I completely forgot. Can't remember. But yeah, go ahead.
mm. Okay, so in terms of Obi-Wan the series, I'm not sure. Did you watch any of the other Disney Plus Star Wars shows?
The only one I watch is this one.
Damn,
I've
you didn't
seen
watch The
some.
Mandalorian?
I've been out of Star Wars for a while, man. I planned on watching The Mandalorian. I think I've seen a little bit of the first episode, but I do cheat and watch recaps of all the shows I don't plan on actually watching. So I've watched some episode recaps. I haven't watched the totality, a recap in entirety. So yeah,
Jesus
I'm not
Christ.
spoiled for the Clone Wars. It's okay.
I
Not spoiled.
mean, you kind of are because you've literally seen the rest of stuff.
Listen,
But
all
as far
right.
as the things that happen in the Clone Wars, yeah, no, you're not spoiled on that one.
Listen, all
I'm
right.
actually glad that they didn't put a certain character because there was like a rumor saying that, oh, we're going to bring back Darth Maul. I'm like, no, don't do that.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. I remember what I was gonna say.
What?
You say you don't like Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan to me is the best written Star Wars character, hands down. Next to Luke, of course. But Obi-Wan is the hero that failed, right? As I was saying to you before. So you know about Obi-Wan as Ben Kenobi. You see his death first. You see his end first, right?
Hmm.
And he has such a confidence and a swagger and this old man intelligence, right?
Hmm.
kind of like he knows everything that's gonna happen before it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the catalyst that sends Luke into what he becomes. He
Mm-hmm.
was so important for Luke. So that if he doesn't do what he did, we never would have been able to see the end of the story, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they take you all the way back to this fucking brash kid who's Obi-Wan. And his teacher is Qui-Gon, and he doesn't really want to listen to Qui-Gon. He's like a little annoyed. He's snappy with Jar Jar Binks. He don't really want to listen to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little aggressive. He's Anakin, basically. And what ended up happening is he saw his teacher die in front of him, and that kind of humbled him. And
Mm-hmm.
he took on that before he was ready to. This is the key. Before he was ready to, he took on that leadership role because nobody else could,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then he tried to embrace that, and he became what you see behind you right now, which is that middle-aged Obi-Wan,
Mm-hmm.
who's much wiser, right? And again, seeing his pupil die before him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I was expecting is what I got during the prequels, for him to grow and become much wiser and go through that phase where he's learning and he becomes that wise old intelligent Obi-Wan. How
Mm-hmm.
did you get to that point? You know what I mean? What I wanted to see him talking to Qui-Gon mentally. I wanted to see him learning about Jedi stuff. I wanted to see him really dive deep and take it to how do you get from that Obi-Wan that fought Anakin to
Mm-hmm.
the Obi-Wan that died to save Luke's life? How
Mm-hmm.
do you get there? They did not show me that,
Mm.
right?
Okay, so there's an episode of Star Wars Rebels,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, Rebels, I don't really think is as good as the Clone Wars. There's a lot of people who absolutely love Rebels and say that's a really good follow up. I think there's some like bright spots in it, but I think it's a bit of a downgrade. But that's besides the point. There's a
Mm-hmm.
scene in it where Obi-Wan is in it. I think he's only in the show for like one episode, and for the parts that he's in it, it's probably the most compelling Obi-Wan story hands down. I would even
Mm-hmm.
say that that one episode is prob if it weren't for the other stuff that happens in the episode that has nothing to do with Obi-Wan and the guy that he's facing. I'm not gonna spoil it because again, you haven't seen the Clone Wars. But in that episode, Obi-Wan is closer to his older portrayal in A New Hope.
Oh, I gotta
And
watch it.
oh yeah, and he comes face to face with a face from his past, somebody who he's only dealt with in his younger days. And in that small interaction, you can see the difference between Obi-Wan as he is now, wiser, not rising to like any like prodding or anything like that, versus who he was, where he would have been like a little young, a little cocky, a little brash.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like um I think if you had a series like that where it was like set maybe a little bit closer
Mm-hmm.
to A New Hope, Obi-Wan, or at the very least like dealt with that transition a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
that's probably more your speed.
I'm
That's
gonna watch
something
that.
that if it weren't for the fact that I didn't want you to be spoiled on anything from the Clone Wars, I would say watch it. It's
I'm
probably
gonna watch it. Don't spoil
you're gonna
it.
watch
You sold it to me.
it's
I'm
not
gonna watch
even
it.
it's not even in the Clone Wars. It's in a single episode of
I'm
a
gonna watch
series.
it. I'm gonna watch it.
Shoot.
No, it's all right. Don't sell it no more. You sold it enough. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm excited to watch it. I like Obi-Wan. I like the idea of the student having to become the
In
master,
fact,
having to humble himself. I
mhm.
always resonated with that character of like you're brash and you feel like you have this ability to take over things, but it's like chill, you gotta chill out. You gotta learn how to
Oh,
lead first.
you
That's
know
the
what?
character of Obi-Wan, you know?
True. That episode is so far removed from most stuff. What's it called? I almost want to see your reaction to the scene because even if you watch it, it's not going to
All
spoil a
right,
whole
I'll
bunch
pull
of
it
stuff
up.
that you don't
I
know.
don't care. I'm pulling it up now. You said
All right.
enough. I'm pulling it up.
Just put an Obi-Wan Rebels duel. Pull it up, put it on the screen. I kind of want to see your reaction. I have
Look what has become of you. A rat in the desert.
Look what I have risen above.
I have come to kill you, but perhaps it's worse to leave you here, festering in your squalor.
If you define yourself by your power to take life, your desire to dominate, to
Mm.
possess, But you have nothing.
And what do you have? Why come to this place? Not simply to hide. Oh, you have a purpose here. Perhaps you are protecting something. No, protecting someone.
Wow. I've been thinking about this moment all my life. He was ready for you. I was thinking about what I would do this whole time.
Tell me, is it the chosen one?
He is.
He will avenge us.
Why isn't the series that way? Just steal. Just give me exactly that. What is wrong with these people?
I feel like they dipped into that territory in episode 6 between his conversation with with Anakin at the end. But you can't make an entire series of them communicating with each other, or else there's no build up.
I wanted to
But
see some wise Obi-Wan. I wanted to see some growth, not Reva and Leia. And
I
I
think
don't even care if it was Leia. If it was Luke, I'm not here to see baby Luke or Leia or none of that. That they're an interesting plot device, but like that's it.
I also think that was a way of explaining why Leia, of all people, who in the original trilogy didn't even spend any screen time with Ben Kenobi, why she would turn around and be like, "Okay, I'm naming my kid Ben,"
Yeah.
and then you're like, "Oh, okay, I could see why this man saved your life."
I mean, I'm not mad at it. It's just the way everything was done and what they tried to do. It wasn't good. It wasn't
You know
good.
what? I think that if you cut most of it and you had just like as a short film rather than a 6-episode series,
Like I said, if it was an episode of the Reva series, it might have been good.
or even just like even if you cut the Reva stuff like entirely and just have it be Vader
Trash. Oh, okay.
was gonna essentially just sound like he found the lead on Kenobi from one of his Inquisitors, and then he takes over the hunt personally, and then it's just him and Obi-Wan playing cat and mouse. Like that moment in episode, I think it was episode 5, where Vader and Obi-Wan are essentially going like tactic for tactic because they know each other so well. So he's like, no, Vader doesn't have any patience. He's gonna lay in for he's not gonna lay in for a long siege. He's gonna he's gonna try and draw us out immediately because he knows everything.
Stuff like that is it's interesting in theory, but as a series, it wouldn't be good. I think what makes Obi-Wan compelling. I heard this, I think from one of the reviews as well, and it was a quote from the director, which was that this was supposed to be a character study of Obi-Wan, and it just isn't. It just isn't. It has nothing to do with him almost. It has nothing to do with it. This entire series is just the story of Obi-Wan saving Leia's life. That's this series. And he just so happened to run into Darth Vader while he was doing it. That's not compelling at all. So I don't know. I don't want to shit on it too much because I'm out. I give up. Okay. Turning my Star Wars card. I'm gonna enjoy Rebels. I think I will.
No. Start with the Clone Wars.
Sorry. I think I'm gonna try to enjoy the Clone Wars.
The fact that you didn't know Obi-Wan has a whole girlfriend hurts my soul, and this is your favorite character.
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan had a whole girlfriend.
He's not supposed to. See, this is why I don't like the Clone Wars, because they do
You
stuff
didn't
like
watch the Clone.
that. Why are they doing stuff like that? If it's not in the material, I don't usually like it. That's why I'm skeptical about the Clone Wars,
Okay, so
because
this
they
will
take
probably-
liberties. They take liberties, like you just said.
Now, you see, I feel like when it comes to these liberties, and you'll see it when you watch it, because again, this is my favorite bit of Star Wars content. Like,
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
like
I'm actually
I
gonna
put-
watch it tonight.
Oh yeah, I put the Clone Wars above the Mandalorian. I put it above the sequel trilogy. I put it above the prequel trilogy. I put it on par with the original trilogy.
Let me do
And
this while
Star
we're
Wars
here.
content.
Now that you're saying that,
Mhm.
give me your top 5 Star Wars material. Clone
Yeah.
Wars, Obi-Wan, Rebels. That's not the original trilogy. Not that's not like the canon material. Not episodes 1 through 9.
Okay, so
Give me your
like,
top
the
5.
side story stuff.
Yes, you could even say films, you could say
Yeah,
books, you
anything
could
Star
say
Wars, anything
you
Star
could
Wars
say
related.
games, anything. Top 5.
Top 5. Number 1, the Clone Wars. I feel it's the best vignette collection of Star Wars stories that can be watched either episodically or out of order. It is
Okay.
one of the best. It is probably the best outside of the original trilogy. Number 2, I would probably give to the Mandalorian if we're counting side series. The Mandalorian, I feel like, has a good story, especially season 1. Season 1 is like really, really good, and it's
Okay.
also handled by the same dude behind the
You
Clone
can put
Wars.
games in there as well.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna get to the games.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Let me see. Number 3, I would
Super
say
Star Wars from Super Nintendo. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's go having them Jedi flips on deck.
What's number 3?
Number 3, there's this novel that I actually went out of my way to buy. It was Darth Vader. Well, it's not Darth Vader. It's called Lords of the Sith. It's a novel. It's probably my favorite canon book of the what's called the new canon. It deals with Vader and Palpatine on a mission together.
Really?
And and it goes about as well as you would expect those two to get along.
Okay.
And it has a
Okay.
backdrop of some people trying to assassinate them in the middle of the jungle, and these two let loose.
Gotcha. That sounds
Um,
fire.
Oh, it was fire. It's one of my favorite novels, and I don't like Star Wars novels usually because I feel like they're like stupid. But this one, my apologies to any Thrawn fans, but I usually don't like the novels. Let's see. Number 4, I would say the Vader run of comics by Charles Soule. Or anything, what's it called? The Vader comics, you are usually like really, 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 really good. They introduce a character that I'm actually quite fond of. Probably one of my favorite new characters in Star Wars, Dr. Aphra.
Okay.
The run that took place between episodes 4 and 5, which dealt with Vader learning of Luke Skywalker and his connection to himself, and also dealing with a bunch of Palpatine shenanigans because Palpatine's always up to some nonsense.
Okay.
That was a really good one. And then number 5, I was gonna say Jedi Fallen Order because the story is just god tier. But
Really?
oh yeah, I quite enjoyed it, especially when you get to the end and the final boss, you beat them and you're like, yeah, I just finally overcame a challenge. Only for Darth Vader to jump out of the shadows and show you ain't nothing, boy.
Okay.
That's probably one thing that Disney does get right, I will say, is that they always portray Vader as like this menacing boogeyman that cannot be overcome or beaten by just
As he
anything.
should. As he should.
This man jumped out like he killed the final boss without trying in that game. This man comes out, force chokes her, leaves her in place, walks over to her, and then slices her in half. And then he gets on a boss fight where he has no health bar.
You serious?
You hit him twice, and then he immediately almost stabs your neck with the force. Yo, if you ever wanted to play through a Jason game,
I have that game.
what you have Fallen Order?
Yeah, I
Did
never
you ever
played it
beat it?
though. No.
Oh snap! I wish I didn't spoil that for you then.
I have too many games. I don't care. I don't care about that.
That if it weren't for the fact that like if I didn't spoil it for you, when I played it, I saw thumbnails, but I thought it was like deepfakes. Because after I beat the final boss, I was like, oh, okay, no problem. This is a good story. You know, she's gonna turn back to the light, and we're gonna work together and save the Jedi Order. So,
For me, it would were you finished? That was 5.
oh no, what's it called? I was saying that would be not my number one, but
But
Star Wars Battlefront 2, original 2005,
yes,
take that spot. That is just
we need to
the
play
best
that game. We need to play that game. I would
would.
fuck your galaxy up.
Yo, EA.
I would actually put money on. I think that is a fun ass game night where
Galactic was
everybody Galactic Conquest, right? Because this is actually a perfect party game because everybody has their own faction and you have your own planets. Be like, yo, from the kitchen, somebody's attacking your planet. All right, hold up, real quick. Fuck out of here. He comes to the control.
Where are those droidicons?
Where are those? You defend your planet, you go get a drink and have a good time. That would be a great party game. But yeah, no. I respect your choice.
Heroes versus villains mode with friggin' Jedi Rock blaring in the background.
And you can actually kill Jedi in that game pretty reasonably.
Indeed.
Like they're OP, but no, not really. If another player is a hero, they can kill you too. They don't need to be a Jedi. Yeah. I would definitely say my favorite Star Wars IP that is not one of the actual main trilogy films. Easily Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Easily. The story of Revan is next to the story of Luke and the prophecy to me. It's that compelling.
People
I
are
love
still clamoring for him to be reintroduced into canon.
I'm scared they're gonna mess it up. Scared they would mess it up. It's so well done in the first game. And I'm scared about the game too, but that story is just so great. And it goes really in depth into the gray area of what is a Jedi, what's allowed, what's not allowed, what makes you good, what makes you bad. And it really, I guess what they did was they took the trend of morality in games and then they kind of made it blend with the story of Star Wars, and it just works so well. It just works so well. You go from the menu screen where you've made all the right options and you're like a princess or a king. You're like this on the thing. And then if you on the screen, you're like your chest is high and you're this angelic feature. You're an angelic feature. If you do a lot of evil choices when you go to your character select screen, your character looks like this. He's angry. I swear to
He's
God.
just hunched over looking for his next baby to eat.
Yes. Looking for a poodle to kick right now. It's ridiculous. So they did such a good job of like the morality system in Star Wars. And you meet characters like Jolie and Kreia, these characters that are Jedi but not really, or Sith but not really. And it just has a great commentary on it. It just does. That would be number 1. Number 2 would be Battlefront for me. Battlefront 2. But
of course the 2015 version.
Would be. I would say it's number 3. Number 2 is Star Wars Rogue Squadron. That game is fire. Have you ever played it?
I think I might have played it when I was like younger, but I can't remember anything about it.
That game gives you everything you would want from Star Wars short of a lightsaber battle. Everything. Like that game is fire. And then outside of that, I don't know. I guess I would put I don't really watch too many Star Wars IPs outside of the regular film. I play more of the games.
Noticed.
I play the games. Super Star Wars, right? Super fast. And then I'm done. I'm out of there. That's it.
Lord. Play Fallen Order. That's Reva done better.
Yeah, I know. I've been spoiled on that, unfortunately.
If you want a female Inquisitor who starts off really, really, really wicked, but isn't like totally redeemed by the end because of various reasons, but you also want to see your main character fighting off other Inquisitors and risking their neck and going on a whole adventure and whatnot, I would say that that's probably more your speed. If you weren't satisfied with
I'm
that
actually
first
planning on playing, and it has Dark Souls style combat. I'm actually interested in playing it. My thing is this, right? I feel like they went and they watched the Fallen Order story, and they were like,
We'll do that.
they're like this. They're like, we'll steal it.
We found it.
We found it. All right. So listen, you have anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to discuss?
What do you think? Like if you had control of the Star Wars IP,
If I had control of Star Wars IP, okay.
what would be the story you would think needs to be told? You cannot move any of the current chessboard, any of the chess pieces that's on the table.
Damn it!
You're not rewriting the sequel trilogy.
You mean like if someone gave me license right now, because as a game developer or as someone who writes stories and tries to do stuff, what would I do?
Yes.
I've always loved the idea of building. So you're saying story specifically?
Yeah, story.
Okay.
Where would you go? What would you do? What story would you, as a fan, want to see them? Would you want to tell within the Star Wars universe? It had to be a whole plot outline because Disney, you better pay me. But let's hear it. What would you want to see?
The one thing that people really need to know about, I would release 2 films or 2 stories that are one focusing, maybe they're trilogies, whatever, maybe they're 2 Disney series, but one would be a deeper dive into Sith culture, and maybe that would be a main character that became part of it and that worked his way up, or however that would work. But there is a planet on Knights of the Old Republic called Korriban. Korriban is the home world of the Sith. And that planet is my favorite planet in the game. As soon as I get the ability to go anywhere, that's the first place I go. Because it's so interesting.
I love the Clone Wars.
It's so interesting to just talk to these characters and the way that they work, and they have the Sith code and they have Sith holocrons and stuff.
And the rule of 2.
Yes, Star Wars needs to tell a story about that, and we need to see some of the backstabbiness of it. There's good Sith, there's bad Sith, there's Sith that want better for the people, and there's Sith that have a point. There's some Sith that are just pure evil, right? There's a whole different gamut of motivations in there, and that needs to be explored. Similar with Jedi, that needs to be told as well. And I think those are the 2 most interesting parts of Star Wars. And I would make a series deep diving into both. That needs to be done badly. Just maybe give me a 4-episode series about a character that turns into a Sith, and maybe give me a 4-episode series with Yoda as a main character, where they show you his story of how the Jedi became what they are and then how they ended. He's probably one of the only people that's seen it begin and end. Maybe give me a Mace Windu story. These are the characters that kind of witnessed a lot. Don't stop. It would be good. It would be good. Give me a character.
The Sith will never return. You lost.
Do I look like a Sith? Give me some.
How fast motherfucker do you speaking?
All I'm saying is I need something that's more detailed in Jedi, where they talk about missions and codes and the inner workings. That's what I want to see on both sides. And another thing that I love about Knights of the Old Republic.
Go ahead.
Knights of the Old Republic does this one thing too when you're on one of the Jedi Council planets. The people in the area come to the Jedi Council for things. Like, hey, listen, there's a lot of raiders on my land. They stole my droid. I'm losing money. My daughter's missing. We need help. And the Jedi go, we will not help you.
So it's the will of the Force. We can't interfere.
We can't interfere. So that's basically
broke bastard.
Buy a new droid. We can't help you.
Your children will start this weekend. Such the way of the Force. You can't
So-
use our powers to help her.
I think that would be interesting. And the one character that conveniently does that they will probably make a series about is Revan. Revan really breaks down what it is to be a Jedi, what it isn't. So you give me a Revan series and then give me maybe, I don't know, a Darth Maul series or some shit. Where they kind of...
Maul has been done to death.
No, I know, but I'm saying just give me a character that kind of went through, maybe a Count Dooku series or something. Somebody that...
I'm sorry, I don't like Dooku.
Somebody
Dooku
that
is
went
my
through
most
both
hated Star
sides.
Wars character.
Dooku. You don't like Count Dooku?
I don't like Count Dooku. No.
I want to play. See, this is why we need a fighting game for Star Wars, where I could just pick Count Dooku and just beat your ass, and it makes it worse.
How's Dooku beating anybody else?
He could fight. Dooku's pretty cool. Obi-Wan couldn't hang with him.
Obi-Wan never was able to hang with this man. I don't know what the hell he was doing in school.
Obi-Wan could only beat Anakin.
Obi-Wan
That's the only
got
person
schooled
he knows
twice.
how to beat.
Who? Maul?
Yeah. No, only people he knows how to beat are evil Jedi. That's the only people Anakin knows. I mean, Obi-Wan knows how to defeat.
Obi-Wan can beat you if he's able to make you shorter. That's how he wins a fight. Lops off the legs, lops you off at the torso, takes inches off.
All right. I think that's a good one. That's a good 2-hour episode to come back. I have a lot of editing to do. Jesus Christ.
Indeed.
But it was fun. Anything you want to say else? Anything else?
Not really. I mean, next Star Wars series ain't for a hot minute. I think it's gonna be the Acolyte, which might fulfill something that you were talking about.
Yeah. Sounds like it will. And that might be good.
I hope so. That sounds different enough. It's not even set like near the main timeline, which that's what I'm excited about. I want to see something that's farther removed from the fin. That's not within that 50-year time frame that we love to stay in. I don't want to see what happens in between episodes 3 and 4 anymore. I'm good on that. I don't want to see what happens in between episodes 6 and 7 anymore. I'm done with that. Either take me way after episode 9 or way before episode 1.
Well, that's what Knights of the Old Republic is way before. Knights of the Old Republic is way thousands and thousands of years way before all of this. So there are stories that tackle what you're asking for. So they will get to it eventually. I just want them to, again, deep dive into the Sith.
Like, they've introduced something called the High Republic era. It's like 1,000 years before episode 1. I started one of the books in that series. It's actually surprisingly very good.
Star Wars is a lot of depth that they can explore, but they just have to stop trying to tell stupid stories.
I feel like, and this might be blasphemy, but I feel like you gotta get away from the legacy characters. Once you do that, everything opens up.
That's because they can't handle the legacy characters. They do them wrong. They want to tell their own stories. They don't want to build upon the legacy. Anytime they touch a legacy character, they need to have George Lucas in the fucking studio.
I think so. Or Dave Filoni at the very least.
No, George Lucas.
Lord.
I
feel
like Lucas.
I feel like they have something good with their characters, and then they muck it up by trying to connect it dumb heavy with the older characters.
It seems to be that way, but I just don't think anything new they add feels like Star Wars to me. So yeah, I do think it'll be better than what they're producing, though.
Okay, lots of Clone Wars.
We'll see. One Piece is better than Star Wars. Anyway. All right.
Star Wars didn't take goddamn 20 years to tell us.
Our prequels is the Gold Roger era. All right. That's our prequels. All right.
So you're telling me that they're overwritten?
All right. Anyway. Let me play the outro.
All right.
Another episode in the books, guys. Oh yeah, I should probably stop the outro and give you guys an actual send-off. Right? I should do that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, another episode in the books. This has been the Uncringed Podcast. We have taken a 2-week break due to life reasons.
Various life reasons. But we gave you a double long episode to compensate.
And we did record a lost episode that will be released. That episode is hilarious. That episode will come out in the middle of the week as well. And we will be dropping clips on clips on clips on clips on clips.
All the clips.
All the clips. And we'll be back still Sundays.
So Sundays.
Still Sundays. We'll be recording on Sundays, releasing on Mondays. So you guys will see us then. Thank you for listening. See us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook coming up soon. All right.
All right.
Take care. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah, have a good night.